Hey y'all, what's up? What's good? Hope everybody's doing well. And as part of my New Year's resolution, trying to make more content more frequently, here I am. I've got a great video of a terrific watch, but look at that. But it's not that watch, actually. Unfortunately, it's just this watch. Look at that. It's a Rolex. Okay, I know. One of my other New Year's resolutions was making videos about watches that were a little more financially accessible, a little less expensive. But, you know, in my defense, this is a pretty inexpensive Rolex. I promise I'm going to get to some more interesting content quickly, like this watch, much more interesting. But I thought you guys might be interested in looking at the Oyster Perpetual, the entry-level Rolex. And you know, let's start off about talking about sizing. So it comes in, I think, like a whopping 5 different sizes. I think the Oyster Perpetual line comes in at like 23, 28, 35, 36, and 41, I believe, are the 5 different sizes of the watch. I may have messed up some of those smaller sizes a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is the 41. So this is the jumbo, the large version of the watch. And they come in a lot of different dial colors. Some of them are discontinued. You know, there was a little bit of a run on those Tiffany blue Oyster Perpetuals. And there's a beautiful red coral color. And there's a yellow color. This is the dark green color. And this color, if I'm correct, is still in production. You know, it's a very pretty color, beautiful watch actually, and it's an entry-level watch, but it's every bit a Rolex. You can see it comes on a really well-made oyster bracelet, and one thing that's nice about this oyster bracelet is that it's all brushed, you know, so it's not, there's no polished center links, it's all brushed, and you can see that the clasp is all brushed, and it's got the typical excellent build quality of the Oyster bracelet, and just a terrific watch. You know, it looks really good on the wrist. Let's set the time and kind of let's set the time, and then we'll go from there. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Before we set the time, let's look at that lacquered green dial, a beautiful dark green color, just really pretty. All right, so time to set the time. All right, let's just wait a minute. Oh. Let me just look how cool this watch is. This is the Hamilton, underrated Bond watch, actually. Be on the lookout for a video of this watch really soon. So it looks like it's 1621. Let's do that. So unscrew the crown, big crown. You know what I mean? I really like the way Rolex has enlarged their crowns to make them easier to set. And then the winding is just so smooth, man. It is so easy. It is freezing. Is it cold where y'all are at? It's sunny outside though, so that's good. But like I said, really cold. Beautiful sweep to that seconds hand. You know, with this Oyster Perpetual line, it's every bit of a Rolex. You get the latest movement, long power reserve. So that's really cool. And like I said, effortless winding. There's only one position because there's no date function on this watch. And so we'll set the time, and we said it was 1622, so that's 4:22. Cool, we're right back in it. Screw the crown, no drama, easy to screw in. Perfect, just a really pretty watch. Look how flush Rolex bracelets sit to the case. You know, so it's brushed, the sides are polished, and you can see that the bezel is polished. No movement at all, of course, with the links. Really well made. Let me put it on the wrist. We'll check it out, okay? All right, we're back. Let's get this thing on the wrist. Get the Hamilton off. I love this watch. Man, I wear this watch a lot, actually. It's so space age. Like I said, be on the lookout for a video about this watch, hopefully in the near future. Put that to the side. And like so I said, this is the 41. It's the large version of the watch. It comes in a lot of different sizes, though. One size they don't have anymore is the 39. You know, the Explorer, that disaster of a product line. You know, they got rid of the 39. That's a 40 millimeter watch now. They used to have a 39 millimeter Oyster Perpetual, but that 39 millimeter diameter, really, Rolex doesn't really serve that diameter unless you consider the Daytona, which is kind of a 39 millimeter watch. But here's what the 41 looks like on my 6 1/4, 16 centimeter wrist. And there it is. A big watch for sure, a big watch, but just very legible. It's easy to read the time. You know, all the indices are loomed except for at 12 o'clock. And you can see at 3, 6, and 9, it's got the double markers. I really like the look. It makes it very symmetrical and very easy to read. And the other thing I really like about this watch is that the hand length and the thickness of the hands is perfect. So at a glance, it's very easy to read. And it's a watch that especially in this dark green color, I mean, it's just easy to wear. It's got just enough color, got just enough style, got just enough flash without being like ostentatious. You know, certainly the turquoise Tiffany blue would be epic, amazing, beautiful watch, but that is just going to jump off your wrist. And that watch sells at a massive premium, and I think that watch still goes for over $20,000 in this 41 millimeter diameter. The coral also, like I said, it's a beautiful red, deep, dark, rich lacquer coral color. But again, that's going to just jump off your wrist, just like the yellow one too. But you know, there's a black one of these. I think there's a silver one of these, and I think that silver one has gold markers. But this one has like a colored dial. But like I said, it's a kind of like a somber green dial. It looks almost black in certain light conditions, but in the correct light condition, when the light hits it just right, you can see that deep, rich green color. And you know, green is the classic Rolex color. So you know, the sizing is all over the place. Like I said, there's 5 sizes of these watches, but you know, 36 and 41 I think are the big decision you have to make. I like the 41. I think it's a lot of dial. You get your money's worth when it comes to the green or the colored dials at that 41 millimeter diameter, although the 36 I'm sure is fine. One thing with these new modern Rolex movements is that they're thicker than the older watches used to be, and so sometimes that 36 millimeter watch, sometimes it sits a little bit thick on your wrist, whereas the 41 really spreads that the thickness of the movement and therefore the case much better. Certainly the 41s sell at a premium. So like I said, that turquoise sells at the biggest premium, then the coral and the yellow, those are kind of rare watches. But you know, this green one sells at about 8,500, you know, maybe 9,000, you know, maybe 8,000 though. And so it doesn't really sell at this huge premium. You know, I always talk about the value of watches, the market value of watches. When it comes to brands like Rolex, you know, it's really pointless to talk about what the suggested retail price is, because it's hard to find these watches just sitting in an AD's shelf, you know what I mean? And so you got to really think about things in terms of market value. You got to think about everything in terms of market value. I mean, even like, you know, so let's say like an Omega has a market value of $7,500. Nobody's paying $7,500 for like a Seamaster, you know what I mean? And so think about things in market value. And so the market value of this is still pretty close to MSRP. And I think it makes the 41 millimeter green Oyster Perpetual a pretty good buy as far as Rolex goes. I think it's a lot of watch for the money. There's no date complication, so if that's a deal breaker, obviously you're going to be looking at the date just, you know, and of course the date just is a terrific watch. You know, you get a lot of options with that. But this maybe is a little bit more sporty. You know what I mean? The Oyster bracelet certainly makes it such, and you know, I think the most direct competitor to the Oyster Perpetual, of course, is the Explorer. I think they both have their pros and cons. I've owned several versions of the Explorer. You know, I really don't like the way that they have changed that watch around so much. You know, the Oyster Perpetual, I get it. It's the entry-level watch. Change it around, different dials, different sizes. Great, nobody's upset about that. But man, people are really emotional when it comes to like the Explorer. That's a classic tool watch that's been around for a long time. And so I don't like the way they've changed around that product line a lot. I mean, the 40 millimeter version, I haven't had a chance to own it and try it. I'm sure it's fine, like all Explorers are, but you know, a 40 millimeter Explorer versus a 41 millimeter color dial Oyster Perpetual, that's a tough debate in my mind internally. I do know that the Oyster Perpetual is going to get a lot more positive comments if you're looking for that. Certainly from the fairer sex, it'll get you a lot more positive comments. that I can assure you of. And you know, what's the point if not that? Kidding. Or am I? Anyway, guys, I hope you like this quick look at a fun watch. This is the Oyster Perpetual 41 millimeters. This is the green dial, a lot of fun dials, a lot of colors, and a lot of watch for the money. You know, while not an inexpensive watch, it's an inexpensive Rolex, whatever that's worth. Guys, take care. God bless. Remember, treat others with love and respect. And if you can't do that, just pretend. Take care. Bye.